Welcome back to New Teacher Talk. I'm Dr. Anna, and this is the second episode in our four-part series on redirecting behavior in the classroom. Last time we talked about foundational strategies for preventing off-task behavior. Today we're going to talk about something equally critical: maintaining the positive classroom culture you've worked so hard to build. You know that feeling when September rolls around and your classroom hums with energy? Students know the routines, expectations are crystal clear, and everything just flows? But then October hits, maybe November, and suddenly things feel different, a little looser, a little messier. Students who used to line up quietly are now chatting in clusters. The hand raising you worked so hard to establish, it's starting to slip. If you're nodding your head right now, you're experiencing what I call drifting expectations. And here's the thing: it happens to every teacher. The question is, what do we do about it? Let me tell you what not to do. Don't panic and crack down with an iron fist. Don't assume your students have suddenly become disrespectful. And definitely don't give up and let things continue to slide. Instead, we're going to combat drifting expectations with three simple commitments. Keep expectations high, keep routines sharp, and continue to develop relationships. Here's what this sounds like in practice. You're going to consistently narrate your expectations as reminders. Remember, in this class, we always push in our chairs before lining up. In this class, we always give our full attention to whoever is speaking. In this class, we always start our warm-up the moment we walk in the door. Notice the language there? In this class, we always. This reinforces that your expectations haven't changed. They're constant, they're predictable, and they matter. You're not introducing something new. You're reminding students of who you are as a classroom community. And here's the beautiful part. When you catch yourself thinking, they should know this by now, that's actually your cue that it's time to narrate the expectation again. Our students need those reminders. They're learning hundreds of different procedures across multiple classrooms, dealing with social dynamics, managing their own emotions and development. So a gentle, consistent reminder of, remember, in this class we always, keeps everyone on track without shame or frustration. And now let's talk about tone, because here's a truth that might be hard to hear. Sometimes we are the source of the negativity in our classroom. I want you to imagine this scenario. A student forgets their homework for the third time this week. You feel that familiar frustration bubbling up, and you say, again, really? This is the third time. Why can't you just remember? The student shuts down. Maybe they argue back. The mood in your classroom shifts. Other students are watching this interaction, and they're learning something, but it's not what you wanted to teach them. Here's what I want you to practice. Always keep the overall tone of your classroom positive. And as soon as negativity creeps in, and it will creep in because we're human, stop yourself, reset, and narrate the positive. Going back to our homework scenario, here's the reset. Take a breath. Then say, I notice you don't have your homework today. Let's talk after class about a system that might work better for you. For now, let's get started on today's work. Same accountability, same consequence, but completely different tone. You've preserved the student's dignity, you've kept the in-classroom environment positive, and you've actually increased the likelihood that this student will be receptive to problem solving with you later. The best part? Your students will mirror this tone back to you. When you model positive, solution-focused language, you're teaching them how to navigate frustration in their own lives. Let's shift gears and talk about a practical tool that many of us use, but might not be maximizing: countdowns. Here's my challenge to you. Use countdowns to keep yourself from talking too much. We teachers, we love to talk. We explain. We re-explain. We give directions. We give the directions again in a different way. And meanwhile, our students are tuning us out. A countdown is a gift you give yourself. It creates urgency, it provides clear structure, and it forces you to be concise. Here's how to make your countdowns truly effective. Narrate the actions you want to see at each number. Not what students should stop doing, but what they should be doing. Listen to how this sounds. 5, materials down. You pause. You scan the room. 4, return to your seats. Another pause. 3, silence. Wait for it. 2, eyes on me. Let them get there. 1, we're ready to start. Each number is a discrete, observable action. Each number gets its own moment, and you're narrating what you see happening, not what isn't happening. This keeps everything positive and clear. When you rush through a countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go, you're not actually giving students time to comply. You're just counting. Use the countdown as the powerful classroom management tool it's meant to be. Now I want to address something that I see derail many new teachers: trying to have important conversations about behavior or chronic work issues in the middle of class time. Picture this. You're in the middle of a lesson, students are working, and you notice that Jordan hasn't started the assignment. Again. You walk over and start addressing it right there at Jordan's desk, maybe with a little edge in your voice because this is the 4th time this week. Can you see the problems here? Jordan is embarrassed because this is happening in front of peers. You're frustrated, and it's showing. Other students are now watching instead of working. And whatever you say in this moment probably isn't going to be productive. Here's the better approach. If you need to talk about behavior or a chronic work issue with a student, keep it out of classroom time. Give the student some dignity and privacy. In the moment, a simple redirect. Jordan, I need to see you working on number 1. That's it. Then at a transition time, maybe as students are packing up or heading to lunch, you'll pull Jordan aside. Hey, I've noticed you're having trouble getting started on assignments. Let's find a time to talk about what's getting in your way and how I can help. Can you stay for 2 minutes after class tomorrow? This approach does several things. It protects the student's dignity. It keeps your instructional time focused on instruction. It gives both of you time to approach the conversation when emotions aren't running high. And it communicates that you care enough to problem solve, not just punish. Some of your most transformative relationships with students will come from these private, supportive conversations. Finally, let's talk about something that might be the hardest part of teaching: letting go. There are so many times when we hold on to feelings about something that has happened in the classroom. A student was disrespectful during second period. They received a consequence, maybe a call home, maybe a lost privilege, maybe a conversation with you or an administrator. But now it's 5th period and you're still upset. You're still carrying that feeling. And when that student walks into your classroom, you're cold, you're distant. You can't quite look at them the same way. I need you to hear this. We are the adults in the room. After delivering a consequence to a student, we need to let it go. This doesn't mean the consequence didn't matter. It doesn't mean the behavior was okay. It means that once the consequence has been delivered, that situation is complete. The circle is closed. The slate is clean. That student gets to walk into your next class with a fresh start. This is incredibly hard. It requires emotional maturity that honestly many adults struggle with. But our students need us to model this kind of grace. They need to know that a mistake, even a big one, doesn't define them forever in our eyes. And here's what I've learned. Students can tell when we're holding grudges. They feel it in our body language, our tone, the way we respond to them, and it damages the relationship in ways that are hard to repair. So practice this. When a difficult situation is resolved, take a deep breath. Literally visualize yourself setting down that heavy feeling, and then greet that student warmly the next time you see them. Show them that in your classroom, everyone gets a fresh start every single day. So let's recap the 5 strategies we've covered today for maintaining your positive classroom culture. Combat drifting expectations by consistently narrating. In this class, we always. Keep negativity at bay by stopping, resetting, and narrating the positive. Use countdowns effectively by narrating the actions you want to see. Have important conversations about behavior and work issues privately, not during class time. And don't hold grudges. Give students and yourself the gift of fresh starts. These strategies aren't about being soft or lowering your standards. They're about being intentional, consistent, and relationship focused. They're about creating a classroom where students feel safe, respected, and accountable. In the next episode in this series, we'll explore additional strategies that shape positive student behavior. Until then, choose one strategy from today's episode and commit to practicing it this week. Thanks for listening to New Teacher Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, follow us so the next one is in your queue. Check out our socials at New Teacher Talk on Instagram and Blue Sky. And keep up the amazing work you're doing.